Hizbul Mujaheedin has been daring the security forces for the last couple of years by uploading their pictures and videos on social media. Most of the local terrorists are active in South Kashmir and have been spotted roaming in orchards. Last year, Hizbul Mujaheedin uploaded a picture of 10 terrorists, including Burhan Wani. A year later, 9 of these 11 terrorists have been eliminated by the security forces. One of them, Saddam Padar, is still active and is commander of Hizbul Mujaheedin. All right, so in fact, this was a picture that was posted last year, and in which the man who started the problem in the valley, the recent problem in the valley, Burhan Wani, can also be seen. Out of these 10 now, security forces have gunned down 11 of these terrorists. It was an open challenge that was thrown to the security forces, and the security forces accepted it and eliminated 9 of these terrorists. These men, those who have been posing with AK-47s and other weapons, daring the security forces, and a befitting reply has been given to them. This is the only man who is alive out of this group as of now. He is a local commander of Hizbul Mujaheedin. Let me now go across to my colleague, Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant, who is joining us from the newsroom for more on this. Gaurav, not only have the security forces taken this challenge head on of these terrorists posing with heavy weaponry on social media to lure more people, but they have also now given it as a warning to others. 9 out of these 10 have been eliminated.
So 9 of 11 eliminated, Ankit. That's the big story. And this was a picture that terrorists had put out. The picture that you see on your television screen, 2 images. Terrorists had put out an image. This was a big boast. You know, this is what terrorists had claimed, that this is the new face of terror in the valley. They are no longer scared of showing their faces. These are terrorists posing with their weapons. This was supposed to be the new face of terror in the Kashmir Valley. 1 year down the line, if you notice this image, and this India Today has access from the Indian Army, well, of these 11, 9 have been neutralized. 1 surrendered. The man who surrendered is Tariq Pandit. That's number 11. This is the man who surrendered. Saddam is the only man. This man is the one who's still alive. All others in systematic military operations that were undertaken. Intelligence provided not just by Jammu and Kashmir Police, which was human intelligence on ground, but electronic intelligence provided by the Signal Intelligence Unit, by other intelligence units. All of them were systematically tracked and gunned down. So that's the message the army is giving out. 1, if you're with a weapon, it's a matter of time before you're neutralized. But in this, what is extremely critical is the fact that all of them were given an opportunity to surrender. The only man who actually surrendered was when the army reached out to his family. His parents made a very emphatic appeal, and Tariq Pandit, this man surrendered because his parents reached out to him. He came over ground and he surrendered. Burhan Wani, the leader of this so-called group, he was the first to be neutralized, and then systematically over the period of the past 10 months, all others have now been neutralized except one man, this Saddam, who's now seen as the head of the Hizbul Mujaheedin terrorist organization. But there too, there appears to be a faction within the Hizbul Mujaheedin. There apparently are 2 folds, 2 groups. There may be a feud within, or it's a matter of time before these people are neutralized. And what is extremely critical, Ankit, is the fact that there is another kill list that has now come out. The 11 or 12 terrorists who are now on the army's radar.
You know, Gaurav, we have seen this, that at least in the last few months, the army has taken an extremely aggressive stand as far as these terrorists are concerned. So on the one hand, the government is trying to insulate, trying to ensure that there are no new terrorists, those who come in from the other side of the LOC. We saw the Indian Army releasing that video of punitive strikes, punishing hard on the Pakistani posts which are indulging or supporting these terrorists from across the border. On the other, inside our area, inside our side of the line of control, all these terrorists are being eliminated.
So the effort is, and that is what sources in the army and the Jammu and Kashmir police are telling India today, the effort is to get them to surrender. If they do, like in the case of Tariq Pandit, they are brought on, overground, then they're de-radicalized, and then they're, ready to join the society at whatever stage. But if they're not willing to surrender, then whether it's a Burhan Wani, whether it's a Sabzar Ahmed, whether it's an Adil or a Nasir or an Afshaq Bhatt or a Sabzar, Anis, Ishfaq, Wasim Mallah, Wasim Shah, it depends on who they may be. If a terrorist has picked up a gun, if he's harming civilians, if he's harming the country's national interest, then that terrorist is neutralized. So a long rope was given to terrorists to come and surrender. Those who are surrendering, there's a different way of dealing with them. Those who are not surrendering are meeting their fate.
Gaurav, also tell us about this new list that the army has come out with. This is a picture that was about 10 to 12 months old, and the action is visible. What about this new hit list that the army has come out with?
The new hit list are the top terrorists who are operating in the Kashmir Valley. India today has accessed the list of all top Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujaheedin terrorists. So some of these are, one of these social media kind of terrorists. They're very addicted to the internet. They're bragging, they're show-offs. They look for the net, and perhaps that is also their nemesis. Because they're so desperate to be in the limelight, they are also easier to track, hunt. Either an effort is made to get them to surrender, or they are then neutralized. So the new list that's come out, that includes both local terrorists and foreign terrorists. Foreign terrorists, no leeway for them is what army sources tell India today. And I've interviewed the GOC of the Chinar Corps. I've interviewed a number of other officers in Kashmir, and the message down to the rank and file is very clear. Foreign terrorists are to be neutralized. Local terrorists are to be given an opportunity to give up the gun, join the mainstream. If they do, well and good. If they don't, then nobody will be allowed to challenge the might of the state. And that is something very clear. Nobody picks up the gun against the state. You want to protest, protest democratically. If not, then, well, the picture speaks for itself. Social media terrorists clearly are at a great risk to themselves. Some of them are so addicted to the social media that actually is the way to bring them in, as army sources tell India today, and then neutralize them.
Gaurav, also just talk to our viewers about the posturing that we are seeing from the Indian Army at the line of control. It's a two-pronged strategy. Make sure that nobody infiltrates from Pakistan, and this time when the snow is melting, this is the high time as far as the cross-border terrorism, cross-border infiltration takes place. So we have seen in the last few days, about 9 terrorists being neutralized at the LC inside the valley in various operations. So there is a two-pronged strategy. Kill those who are trying to come in, and also ensure that those who are inside are under constant, pressure.
An extremely aggressive posture adopted by the Indian Army. It's a multi-pronged attack on Pakistan-sponsored terror and Pakistan's proxies. So while you have the army, as you very rightly pointed out, 14 terrorists neutralized in 1 week. You had 6 terrorists neutralized on day 2 in the Uri sector, 2 on day 1. If you recall, on the 21st of May, you had another 4 terrorists neutralized in the Naugam sector, all foreign terrorists. So 4 plus 6 plus 2. 12 terrorists, those 2 bad action terrorists, they were neutralized at the line of control in the Uri sector. Apart from them, so 14 terrorists in all there in 1 week. Apart from that, a very aggressive stance that's been adopted in the depth areas. If you remember, search and destroy operations launched by the army, cordon and search operations launched in South Kashmir. So, terrorists were trying to claim that they have some kind of a liberated zone in at least 3 districts of South Kashmir, but every inch by inch, they are now being pushed out. the army, the CRPF and the Jammu and Kashmir police very systematically taking control of this entire area.
Gaurav, just stay on with me. Just stay on with me. We are also being joined by on the phone line by Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal. So thank you so much for speaking to us here on India Today. Very quickly, sir, there is a new hit list, a kill list by the Indian Army that is circulating, that we have also accessed, and also this old picture. Aggressive stance by the Indian Army. If you pick up the gun against the state, the countdown has begun.
Yeah, of course, that is the philosophy, because firstly, we always take on the leadership. And time and again, wherever we have had success, it is directly related to our capability of decimating the leaders. And thereafter, of course, the groups have been, broken totally. So since there is an increase and they have started increasing their activity, and they did cause certain casualties on CRPF, etc. So Army has got systematic way of taking on these terrorists. We build our intelligence and we strike based on specific information, and we do get the results. So we will hound them. They can't run away. We will hound them.
Thank you so much, General Jaswal, for speaking to us. Also, thanks to Gaurav Sawant for giving us a comprehensive perspective on the terror strategy and, of course, the strategy of the army to neutralize those who have picked up the gun and are terrorizing the Kashmir Valley. Well, moving on.